This is my pit bull Sky, and she is a beautiful dog, very, very sweet, but she has this bark that is just so loud. So I usually am trying to train her to kind of prevent her barking a little bit, or just kind of narrow it down a little bit to where it's not happening all the time. So this was actually sent to me for review. Really excited to try it out. So it is a dog training collar. So let's take it out and see what we have. So here's what it looks like in the package. So you do have a charging cable, and again, this is going to be your USB-C to USB. And then over here you have the collar itself. So it does look nice and thick, and I like that it is adjustable. So depending on your dog, you'll be able to size it appropriately. And then you also have the little remote here. So this is what you would use to actually trigger the device. You can see here that I have a few options on that. And then it also comes with some additional hardware for the collar also. And then you do have a lanyard, which is really great, just in case you want to put this on the remote control, you can do so. And then on the bottom of the box, it does come with a instruction guide. Again, anything electronic, you want to make sure that you know how to operate it effectively. So it's very easy to turn these on. So you can see here that I do have it on. There's just this big power button, so you just want to long press that to get that going. So you can see that that is on. Now, as far as the remote control itself, there is this button to get it going as well. You have this one over here on the side. So you would simply just hit one of these to get it started. And then you have a lot of options with this. You can see that you don't necessarily have to go with the shocking, which usually I don't go there, but in some cases, some people that works for them and their pets. So you do have the option to select the shock. And then you have this little wheel here that will give you the ability to cycle through the levels. So for the shock, you can go up to level 16. For just the vibration, which is honestly probably what I will use, I will probably use these top two up here. That also goes to level 16, and I can adjust as needed with the wheel. And then I also have the sound mode, so that's another option, and that goes up to level H8. And then again, I can cycle as needed. So a lot of options. I love this big display because it allows me to actually see what I can toggle through and go through these and see what I have on. I also have some options on the side. So again, this is just my power button here that I'm turning off and on with just a click there. And then I do have a light mode here. As you can see, there's a little light illuminated, and then I do have a channel option here that I can toggle through as well. So a lot of options on here. I think this is going to make it very, very versatile and very easy to use. Okay, so I have the collar on Sky, and you can see it actually fits really, really nicely. I always want to make sure that I'm able to put my fingers underneath just to make sure that it's not too tight on her, but it is adjustable. So again, depending on your dog, you will have the ability to adjust it as needed. And see, here it is. It sits nicely under her neck there. So I'm excited to try this out. Again, she might, because she's so used to having these on, that her immediate reaction is not to bark if she has one of these on. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to get her to bark, but we're going to try it out and see. I wasn't able to capture it on camera, but she did bark once. So I was upstairs. I heard her bark one time, and then she stopped. So usually if she hears somebody outside, she's going to be barking multiple times. So final thoughts on this collar. I really like it. Again, I like how easy it is, and it fits really nicely in your hand. Very easy to operate. Again, you have the ability to toggle between your shock option, but you also have just sound options and vibration. You can easily change between high, low levels here. You can have the ability to set it for multiple dogs, which I thought was also really cool via different channels. So I thought this was really great. I really liked it. Again, we had somebody come to the door for Amazon, and she literally just did that half a bark, just the one bark, and then she stopped. So usually she will continue to bark as long as she sees the shadow out there. So, and you can see her now with the collar on. She's taking a nice nap, so definitely very comfortable.